Hello learners, Namaskar. I am Pragya welcoming you in your YouTube channel English Seeker. Today I will discuss about the second poem of First Flight, and that is Fire and Ice. At the time of explaining the first poem, Dust of Snow, I explained about the poet Robert Frost, who also composed this poem too. So I am not going to repeat about. If you want to get the information, you can see the previous video. If I will talk about the poem Fire and Ice, so this poem was firstly printed in the book New Hampshire, which was published in 1924, and for which he got the Pulitzer Prize. So it is very philosophical poem composed by Robert Frost and is very important poem too. So let's see. The very first stanza of this poem is: some say the world will end in fire and some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So, through this poem, let's the explanation. Through this poem, the poet puts forward the theories propounded by people. The world will end in either one of two ways. Some say fire will destroy everything, and others feel it is ice that will in annihilated the world. Both ice and fire are symbols of self-destructing emotions, those of hatred and desire, and jealousy and intolerance. In this context, the word fire can also refer to a nuclear disaster, and ice could also climate change. The narrator believes that the world will end in fire. He says he has seen the suffering that fire means desire and greed can bring. Therefore, he thinks it is greed and hatred that will end the world and be the cause of the ultimate catastrophe. In the second stanza is: but if it had to be perished twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that be destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. So in the second stanza, the poet says that a close opposite to burning desire is a coldness or iciness of hatred. Ice, a metaphor for the hatred, insensitivity, and intolerance, would be equally capable of destroying the world. The poet believes that hatred will cause intolerance, which will cause destruction. The final destruction of earth is a given end. Both fiery desire and ice hatred are capable of ruining the world. So the poet says that if the world were to be destroyed a second time, then ice stands for intolerance, hatred, coldness, will be able to enough. So this was the explanation. Now we will discuss about the key points of the poem. So the very first point is: fire and ice are two elements that are the exact opposite of one another, but the end result of both is the same. Fire and ice are both metaphors of devastation and death. Second main point is: fire is equated with passion, greed, and rage. It is used as a metaphor for the strong, all-consuming emotions. The poem underpins the philosophy that we let our emotions rule us, and if we don't control them, they will surely bring us all on the verge of chaos. If we let our emotions rule us and do not control them, they will definitely destroy us and everything else that is around us. The theme that runs through the poem is that of the destruction of the world. The poem is written as a series of 9 lines altering between 3 rhyming sounds, and the rhyming scheme is ABAA, BCB, Let's see the rhyming scheme once again: ABAA, BCB. If I will talk about the poetic devices used in the poem, so the figures of speech that are used in the poem are alliteration, paradox, symbolism, imagery, and enjambment. What is alliteration? Let's see. Where is alliteration? We will also see this. Alliteration is the repetition of initial consonant sound on the same line. Some say the word will end in fire, some say in ice. So in both lines the repetition of S, and in the first line the repetition of W is, and that is a consonant sound. If I will talk about that where other else the alliteration is. So in the last line of first stanza, I hold with those who favor fire. So favor fire, F consonant sound is repeated in this line here. So the alliteration figure of speech used there. The second figure of speech that is used is paradox. And what is paradox? A paradox is a statement that is true but it seems untrue. I mean, a statement that is in actually true but it always seems untrue is called paradox. And which statement in this poem is like so? The very first line of second stanza. But if it had to perish twice. So this statement is paradoxical statement. If I will talk about the symbolism, so at the time of explaining the poem, I told you many times that fire stands for as a symbol for desire and ice is a symbol for hate. And a lot of symbols are also here, but basically these two are. If I will talk about the imagery, so what is imagery? A figure of speech where an object, person or situations has another meaning other than its literal meaning. So fire and ice carry deep connotations. Fire elects the feelings of heat and light but also burning and pain. Ice elects the feelings of coldness but also indifference and intolerance. So with it, the enjambment is also used in this poem. Enjambment is figure of speech which means is run on line, in which that statement is not going to be complete in first line, it is just going or run on the second line too. So you can see this figure of speech is also used in this poem. With it I am going to conclude this video, and getting much more informations and much more interesting video. Stay connected and stay tuned. Thank you.